Good day, YouTubers. Thanks for joining me. This is part 10 of my series of videos on Ontario Northland models, as has been manufactured NHO by various manufacturers. And today we're looking at Roundhouse. Now I'll break this into two videos here, as I've tried to work my way through these Roundhouse items here now more than once, and I seem to have issues with length of this video. So we'll do boxcars first, and then a subsequent video with everything else. So, Roundhouse produced boxcars amongst other models for Ontario Northland over a fairly significant period of time. I know that Athearn started theirs in the late 50s. I'm not quite sure when Roundhouse started theirs, but I'm assuming that it's got to be in at least the 60s. So here's the earliest example of an Ontario Northland 40-foot boxcar that I have. The plastic mold seems to be approximately the same for all of these cars. All we're seeing is some minor variation in regards to paint color, more specifically the yellow in the Ontario Northland. Now, in regards to structure of the cars, this earliest example has a solid metal underframe. Compare that to the next generation of car here in regards to structure. This is a little more similar to a lot of the Athearn kits that I'm used to seeing, where you've got the counterweight underneath. So again, very similar to the previous car. You'll just notice some minor variation in color between the two there. And then the most recent example, ignore the wonky roof walkway there. It obviously needs some attention. But this one here just had a plastic under frame with counterweights on the inside. Now, I've got some examples of some unbuilt up kits here for these Roundhouse projects, so I'll show you a few of those here. Now, that latest iteration of Roundhouse boxcar, this is what the steel counterweights looked like on top of that plastic frame. Otherwise, it's the same kit. And this is how you were used to seeing them packaged up. Again, it's that same kit. This is another one of the last generation plastic underframes there. And here's what the packaging looked like. 40-foot boxcar kit, kit 1063 from Roundhouse. And I'm sure you're all used to seeing what the Roundhouse packaging looked like, but this is how it looked through my youth anyway. I've got some later examples here that I'll show you. Now, something that I wanted to do at this time was to talk about road numbers. You've heard me mention some of this stuff on my previous videos, but it seemed like there was some interesting sharing of printing molds, because if you notice, all three of these boxcars are number 90710, 90710, 90710, so no change in road number throughout the lifespan of this model. But here, looking at boxcars as provided by other manufacturers. So we looked at this boxcar in an earlier video. This is a lifelike 40-foot boxcar, again road number 90710, and the details of the print mold there all look approximately the same. And going even further back, here is a Model Power 40-foot boxcar, again as reviewed in a previous video. This was made by Play Art in Hong Kong for Model Power, and once again, boxcar 90710, and the exact same print mold appears to, again, have been reused. So I really don't know the details of why you're seeing the reuse of some of those same print molds between manufacturers. In regards to the actual accuracy of these boxcars, again, you've heard me say this before, but the Ontario Northland did not have any 40-foot boxcars that were painted in the chevron blue scheme as an unmodified car, but they did have modified ones with a rebuilt 8-foot door and yellow end treatment. The closest modeled example of that is this Athearn car. But back to the Roundhouse boxcars. Outside of these 40-foot cars, what was also made available was a 50-foot high cube boxcar. Now, there appears to have been two different production runs done here, two different road numbers, and some discrepancy between the actual print molds used. You see different style of the chevron between the two cars here, and the size and color treatment and such of the lettering is definitely different. So the one car is labeled 7605, and that appears to be the more commonly seen box car out there. And then this later 7866, I haven't seen that one with much frequency, but interesting that they did such two widely different number series for these cars. The Ontario Northland did have cars in both of those number series, but they were NSE cars, not high cubes. And just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about here, again, we're looking at a car that you'll see in a subsequent video, but you'll see the peaked roof and such at the end. This is a little more prototypical. But back to these cars here, so 7605. Not great details been captured in this molding, but again, this is a product that I think was first made available in the late 70s or early 80s. It's got the plastic underframe. And car 7866 is essentially the same, just some variation in printing details and color. I will end it there for now, and please join me for my next video where I will get into other Roundhouse products. Thank you.